What's up, gamers? Otter here. Take a small break from getting bent over backwards by the matchmaking and, Celestial as a whole to tell you guys that we have new drop rates for Marvel Rivals. They just dropped. They're fresh off the presses. It smells absolutely amazing. But do you know what doesn't smell amazing? That is, of course, Black Widow with a 42% win rate. We just beat one, and I can see why. But anyways, we're going to move on and just go over the stats here. We're going to explain why it is this way, so you guys can get an idea of the meta that we've had this previous season and for the next, I guess, few days before the new patch, if you guys want to abuse something to get a little bit more extra rank. So starting off, of course, when we're looking here, I'm going to go PC and competitive. This is all the hero stat up page that we saw previously at the end of last season. We have all of the data here, so all across the ranks, you can already see that Storm sitting here with a 57% win rate. Pretty self-explanatory, I feel like. She just deals a ton of damage. She farms ult incredibly fast against triple support. I guess her ult gets countered by triple support, but because everyone's kind of bunching up, and thanks to the buffs to her damage, she just deals so much damage that she is practically a must-have in every level of play. If you take it to Celestial and above, she is still the most prominent pick. Actually, maybe not the most prominent pick, but she has the highest win rate. And again, that is just because of how good she is. Another hero that is incredibly good this season is Magic, who also kind of flew under the radar in Season 0. She is incredibly good right now. Mostly because, as my chat reminded me, there are one-shot combos that lets her kill enemies through support ultimates. She is good at harassing backlines and getting picks, diving either as a solo or with a teammate, which is really good, as we covered with the triple support counter video. Again, if you just have a lot of burst damage, a lot of focus damage on one target, they will die. Through certain ultimates, or just if you want to pick up the supports, if they play free supports, they rarely have an answer for dive like this. So that's always something you can do. Again, when you look at, wrong place, when you look at Celestial above, you see the same thing. She does fall off a little bit. Wait, where is she? Am I blind? I am blind. She's there in the third place. She's still good in high elo for that reason alone. I also don't think a lot of people know how to focus her and play around her, but that is good to know. Another all-arounder that is really good right now is Rocket Raccoon. I still don't understand fully why. I feel like there must be something I'm missing with this hero. Obviously, he doesn't have defensive ult, he doesn't have focused healing, but he still somehow shines through. If I remember correctly, I believe it is because when you play him in like a triple support comp, he can be pretty good because he brings back, like, if someone gets caught or something like that, it's a bit of a lifeline. And yes, he can enable teammates, if you really coordinate it, to burst through like a Luna ult or defensive ultimate. But overall, I still can't wrap my head around how it's a 55% win rate. There has to be something going on that I just do not understand. But when there's only a rocket and like just two supports, he usually sucks a lot. No surprise here to see these other heroes. You got Black Panther at 53%. Exact same reason as Magic. Just a little bit worse at it. Doesn't really have the same one-shot combo. It does have a one-shot combo. It does have support or backline pressure, just not the same. 4 is something that I know Siegel talked about it in his triple support video. He said 4 is a really good counter to triple support. So it's no surprise that it is pretty high up here. He's very oppressive against certain team comps, again, like triple support. And he is just oppressive in general in the front line, if you, like, however you want to play him, because he does stay alive against most heroes. He can actually single out a target and kill them for free if he wants to. So I'm not surprised to see him this high. Obviously, we don't know how the buffs and nerfs will look in a few days, but you would imagine that the win and loss rates are an indication. So maybe we'll see a nerf to Magic Storm and whatnot. We will see. When we go into... Where is he now? So yeah, when we go into Celestial above, he does fall off a little bit because he does provide good pressure, but he doesn't provide good sustainability for the team, which is kind of like where it doesn't do as well. The one I think is interesting right now with the win rates is going to be, let's see, so Mantis is still high. She was 55% last season. She's not as high now because you see stronger support ultimates being used. She barely gets any play, all things considered. She is a 8% pick rate among all the supports. And that's because, you know, the other supports just have really strong support ultimates and team-ups for that matter. Like the Luna and the Namor team-up is really good against Dive. It's just really good. It's really good. It says, hey, guys on YouTube stream says, hi, YouTube. This one is interesting to me that Mr. Fantastic has such a win rate. I haven't seen it myself. I think if we pull this up in Celestial and above. It's just 50%. Yeah, that seems more reasonable. Still on the upper end for DPS, but definitely not as high as previously. I guess we have done the solo to GM, solo to whatever as Mr. Fantastic. It is very doable. But he does lack like a lot of damage. He's more like of a supportive hero. But if you want more support for your team, you could always play him. I don't think we're going to go through all of these heroes, by the way. We're just going to go through like some of the top ones that stood out to me. As usual, of course, Mr. Hulk in the top, like in overall average, 51%, not that great. You take him to Celestial and above, he is the second best hero. A lot of people say, oh, it's the team up. It's still not the team up. This guy is just incredibly good. Yes, Iron Man and Hulk is a good combo. If you get the team up, Iron Man he has a crazy damage with his power, like the team up power up. His ultimate can one-shot supports. It helps in one support, triple support meta. And, you know, he's just a really good hero, Iron Man. But if the only reason Hulk was good was because of the team up, then Iron Man would have an identical win rate to Hulk, which he doesn't. Hulk has 2% more. He also is picked a lot more. Hulk is a good hero, guys. I don't know why we still have to go over this. Hulk is a good hero. Maybe he's not good in like bronze, because like you look at the average win rate is a lot lower. But this guy, as long as he's not a solo tank, you know, he enables Strange, which is great. He can knock people out of the air. He can stay alive for a really long time. He can solo kill supports. And, you know, his curse is incredibly good just for keeping people stunned and out of the game for a few seconds. We had a moment previously to stream, actually, where they were doing the Groot combo, and I put the curse on the Moon Knight, and it couldn't do the one-shot combo. And, well, I fucked it up because I actually ended up punching him, but we would have won the game if it wasn't for that. So it's a very good hero overall, and I suggest you guys do try to learn him. There's some advanced movement tech as well that I really want to cover. I haven't gotten around to do it, but this goes very deep. He's a very, very underrated hero, despite his win rate. Moving on, Loki, really good. Again, that's just triple support in general. He's a good hero in general, but triple support lets him copy and get the most out of his ultimate. So let's say a Cloak and Dagger and Loki ultimate, Cloak and Dagger, and a Luna ultimate are just unkillable. They're just unkillable. Just ult your supports. Spider-Man, 51%. Again, just counter meta. This is all around, right? Yeah, I was gonna say in all around. And I'm just going down here. We're just gonna skip the middle of the pack for all around, because what's the point? Hela has a 49% win rate, but she's actually incredibly good, and is being played a lot in like scrims and like competitive. And when I say competitive, I don't mean ranked. I mean the tournaments and stuff. Very solid duelist. You just need really good aim on her to make her work. Really underrated. I really suggest trying her out, especially next season, depending on, or half season, depending on the buffs and nerfs. The 49% win rate does not do her justice. We're gonna look at the other win rates in a second. But we're gonna check the ones on the bottom. Magneto, 48.49%. Also a bit of a strange win rate there, because he is incredibly strong. I think it's just he's being forced into single tank a lot. What I've actually found, funny enough, is that Strange is hard to play against certain compositions, because there's so much damage on your shield that, so the point with Strange is he can keep his shield up for longer, but his shield goes down so fast from all the focus damage that Magneto actually has his shield up for longer, because it just, you know, doesn't matter how much damage you take, you're still gonna keep it up because it's stamina and not damage. A very underrated pick, honestly. He counters most ultimates in the game. He can counter everything. We've covered it extensively on this channel. There's a million ways you can counter Magneto. Or with Magneto, and it helps a lot against triple support. If you play against a triple support composition, you're essentially going to be able to counter out every almost every Cloak and Dagger ults, or every Loki Cloak and Dagger, like even Luna if you do really, really well. And he's really slept on for that reason alone. He does so much heavy lifting if you do need to deal with like a high support composition. So I am surprised that it is this low, but I just think it's people that don't utilize him. I actually want to check this on both of these two now. So we mentioned... Chat, help me out there. Okay, so Magneto is closer to 50% win rates in Celestial. That's more reasonable. I still would say he deserves to be higher up. And Hela is 49%. So she's about the same, a little bit better, I think, in Celestial and above, when people use her to the right degree. But definitely, there's some slept on stuff here. Watching your Hulk movement earlier was so satisfying. Thank you, man. Rocket main here with Luna and Cloak bans. Rocket gets to shine this season and amplifies good Punisher and Bucky mains. Also a good Rocket with go-to movement dice early. That's a good point. It's obviously bans. Bans are like so easy to forget about because there's so much things going on. I also wanted to check just the bottom win rates here. We obviously got Hawkeye, Jeff, and Black Widow are at the very bottom. Scarlet Girl also not very good. Scarlet Witch. The one that surprises me is why is Scarlet Witch higher than these? That's always been weird to me. I feel like somewhere in the world there's just somebody who's incredibly good at Scarlet Witch, like so fucking good at her. But when you look at Hawkeye, Hawkeye is actually really good, especially against this meta. 44% does not do him justice. He's really hard to play, but I've seen people who played against the last game. When they play him well, he is nearly unstoppable. We did a solo to GM on Hawkeye. We solo carried most of our games. We could probably take him all the way to Celestial if we want, just for the content. But like 44%, when you counter support ultimates, you can kill people out of support ultimates. He's so good and so underrated. I do not understand the 44%. I think this might be the opposite of inflated, like deflated, shrinkflate. I don't know. Where he's like, he is really good, but people just picking him to troll or something, so that it's really lower. Jeff is weird because Jeff, I've seen Jeff carry like a DPS Jeff. He's annoying as hell to deal with, but you do lack like proper healing and a defensive ultimate. I've seen some really good Jeffs, but every time I pull their stats up in the tracker, they always have a sub 50% win rate. And I can't tell whether that's because they're just not good at those heroes or because they are, they're not. They're actually really good usually. They get big ults and whatnot, but ultimately there's a lot of counters, and I feel like it only works against certain types of players and certain comps. And eventually people kind of get used to the Jeff. I feel like the novelty was wearing off and people are countering it more. Oh, Scarlet Witch is just easy. I guess that's it. It just gets like inflated in like bronze because she's just that easy. We're gonna take a look at the Celestial and above. And then of course Black Widow is the lowest. Again, there's some potential here, but it requires like you have a Mantis to team you up. You need to hit every single shot. Like when you play Black Widow the right way, she's actually pretty damn solid. I will stand by that. I know the win rate is really low. I just don't think people are playing her the right way or playing her good enough. So when we pull up Celestial and above, things will move around a little bit, but I just want to see the bottom ones. And immediately you see that when people do play the heroes the right way, it looks a little bit different. I am surprised to see that Moon Knight has a 42% win rate because he's really good, especially against triple support. You can just spam and ult every single fight and you can make it work. In Celestial and above, that's actually crazy, 42%. Squirrel Girl, not as much of a surprise. She's kind of a weird pick. She doesn't really have like a good place. The ultimate is a bit cheesy. I think there's a lot of potential here, but she's just not really working out. Black Widow again, 43%, no surprise. Hawkeye, 45%. Still somehow under Scarlet Witch though. And Punisher also kind of low. Punisher makes sense because he's kind of a... It makes sense because he's not like that good of a impact hero. I think one important thing when it comes to rank, and this is a very important part that we probably should have put earlier in the video that you guys need to know, is that when you have a hero that has a low win rate, okay, this is gonna sound stupid, but just hang with me, okay? Just hang with me. When you have a hero that has a low win rate, that doesn't mean the hero is bad, okay? I think that's pretty clear what I'm saying now. I'm gonna say it again. When a hero has a low win rate, that doesn't mean they're bad, okay? They could actually be incredibly good. It could be that people don't play them well, or it could be that they are low impact, especially in ranked. Because if I play Punisher every single game, but I have, he's a pretty low impact hero. He's very dependent on peel from his teammates, shields, heals, and positioning help and whatnot. And if he does get all that peel, he can really shine. But his individual impact without all this is terrible. So if I play Punisher this whole time, if I queue up solo queue on Punisher for 100 games, let's say I win 46 of them. That's what the stats say. And that's not because of the hero necessarily. It's just that he needs his team to do well, or like to play around him a little bit for it to work. Hawkeye, sort of the same thing. I could argue, like you said, it is for all of them, but he might actually be the opposite, where he's not super good. Maybe, like I mean, the peaks are really high, so he's a really high impact character. But maybe he's just missing something that makes him like reliable enough. It's probably more reliability. Like the peaks are really high, but the valleys are really low, so he doesn't have that overall value across an entire game, like a Punisher just holding his hit scan and killing people. Okay, so I'm obviously live streaming this on twitch.tv/ottr, but I'm asking you guys in chat, is there anything you guys want me to cover before we wrap this up? I am not too surprised by some of these. Some have definitely surprised me. Venom on 49%, that's going to go up as people learn how to play him. A lot of people just play like Magneto, and most importantly, Strange. But Iron Fist, and I still don't get that. In Celestial and above, I do not see how Iron Fist is so high up, man. It doesn't make sense. I think that's a big part as well. When you look at stats, especially all around the skill spectrum, you have heroes that are easy to play, so they're reliable. Like you could bang your head against the keyboard and you're gonna do your job, or good enough of a job where it will skew the odds in your favor. You'll have a positive impact on your team. Like Rocket, like you said there, Scarlet Witch up until like Plat probably could work. I should see that. I want to see that. Let's check Scarlet Witch. She's the perfect example. Win rate, Scarlet Witch. This is so low, so it's gonna be weird. 47% win rate in bronze. I might be wrong here, chat. What is it in silver? Oh, she's all the way at the bottom. Okay, let's do the other way around like this. It'll be easier to find her. Gold? She's still down there. I don't think things get better. I might have been wrong. No, she's just down bad. Okay, it actually gets a little bit better in diamond. But that's probably because he gets, oh yeah, it goes a bit more because you need a little bit of team peel, and I think you get specialists, and she kind of counters like triple support, so maybe that's why she's doing better. That is surprising to me. Maybe that initial assessment was wrong. Some runs as Hawkeye get 10 one-shot kills back-to-back, some doesn't miss every shot. It is literally that simple. It is literally that simple. But okay, I'm just gonna get this video up on the YouTube and on the Facebook. Thank you guys for watching. We're gonna queue up for another game though, so don't worry about that. And say thank you guys for subscribing. Hit the like and subscribe. Okay, bye bye.